Starting with news from Sri Lanka, the economic mismanagement, it's threatening the political stability of the Rajapaksa government. Sri Lanka's entire cabinet, it has resigned from their posts. This is except the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Amid the most painful economic downturn, the ruling political clan is struggling to resolve the crisis. Aside from the Rajapaksa brothers, all 26 ministers in the cabinet have submitted letters of resignation at a late-night meeting. This move now clears the way for President to appoint a new cabinet today. Some of those stepping down may be reappointed. And for more updates on this, our correspondent Dasuni Athora joins us live from Colombo. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, can you begin by bringing us up to speed with what has happened so far? The nationwide curfew was to be in effect until this morning. I believe the block on social media has been lifted as well. How is the situation on ground currently?
Good morning, Ham. Well, it has been a sleepless night for people like us here in Sri Lanka because what happened last night is very decisive and indeed concerns the future of governance and politics here in the country. Now, yes, we do know that 26 ministers of the cabinet did tender in their resignations overnight last night. However, legal experts have been quick to point out that this resignation is still not in effect as per Article 49 of the Sri Lankan Constitution, which says as long as the Prime Minister remains in the cabinet is not entirely dissolved. So this looks more like the government is looking to shuffle the deck, if I may say so. So the resignation is still pretty much up in question, with multiple sources saying that in order for this resignation to really come into effect legally through clauses of the Sri Lankan Constitution, letters of resignation must be given to the president, which is Gotabaya Rajapaksa. But what we know so far is that letters of resignation has been given to the prime minister.
All right. All right. Thank you for that clarification. In fact, I was going to ask you that in light of these mass resignations, the president can now appoint a new cabinet. Do we see that happening today? Also, will we see a reappointment of a few cabinet ministers today?
Yes, so the reappointment of a new cabinet is scheduled to take place today. And of course, legally as well, once again, when we are speaking, the president is allowed to appoint those who are already in parliament, which also gives a high percentage for those who have already resigned, another chance rather to be reappointed as well.
All right, Dasuni, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with all that's happened so far. We will continue to monitor the situation very closely. Thank you for joining us. In news from Hungary now, Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has secured a fourth consecutive landslide win. Official results showed Orbán's party winning a fourth term in office in an election overshadowed by the war in Ukraine. The Nationalist Prime Minister's Fidesz party has won a much greater margin than what the pre-election polls had suggested. With 94% of the votes counted, the party was on 53% compared to 35% for opposition coalition. Based on preliminary results, the National Election Office said that the party would have 135 seats, that is two-thirds majority, and Opposition Alliance would have 56 seats. Listen in to Viktor Orbán declaring victory in front of a cheering crowd at the headquarters of his party.
Kedves barátaim, hatalmas győzelmet arattunk. Akkora Akkora győzelmet arattunk, hogy még a Holdról is látszik, de Brüsszelből egészen biztosan. A győzelem, Magyarország ma esti győzelme, a szív győzelme, kedves barátaim. Azért nyertünk, mert van egy közös szenvedélyünk, amit úgy hívnak Magyarország.
Now, the 58-year-old is one of the longest-serving head of the government. Orbán's administration has presided over repeated confrontations with the European Union. Orbán has emerged as a vocal supporter of anti-immigration policies and an opponent of tough energy sanctions against Moscow. He was challenged by 6 united opposition parties who were seeking to roll back the Liberation Revolution. Orbán's party is pursued. the transformative revolution during 12 consecutive years in office, but Orban mounted a successful campaign to persuade his party that opposition alliance promised to mend ties with the European Union, and that could lead the country into war. The opposition had denied the accusation. Russia's invasion of Ukraine had appeared to upend Orban's campaign in recent weeks. Diplomatically, Orban fell into line with EU support for Kiev, despite his long-standing closeness with Russian President Vladimir Putin. But at home, Orban struck a neutral tone, an even anti-Ukrainian tone at times. He refused to let weapons for Ukraine cross Hungarian territory. He cast himself as the protector of stability and accused the opposition of warmongering. Now the election result shows that voters shrugged off concerns over Hungary's close ties with Moscow. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.